cozy and stress-free.
Probably among my new favourite book series that I have ever read.
Hello, welcome. As you can tell, the weather is warming here in the Southern Hemisphere, which is incredibly exciting. I didn't think I would be this excited for spring and summer, ever. But I'm glad. And with the change in seasons comes a plethora of hay fever, but also changes in mood, changes in reading. I'm leaving the sad, the seasonal affective, and I'm re-entering my typical habits that I usually do that have just fallen off for the last 3 months. So to celebrate that, we are going to treat ourselves to a weekend of trying to find more cozy fantasy books. For those of you who don't know, my name is Meekela, this is meekela Reads. I live here, and I live here in the Southern Hemisphere where it is turning into spring and not autumn like most of the rest of the world. But that doesn't mean that I cannot also partake in the cozy, spooky season events. It's just a slightly different temperature. I also just love cozy fantasy books. They are my favorite new discovery of any genre of book that I've seen ever, and so I want to find more of them. This is the third installment of trying to find more cozy fantasy books. I've done a fair bit of research this time. I said that last time too, but we ended up with That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, which was not a cozy fantasy. So my hopes is that any of the books that I have picked actually hits the mark. We're going to start with probably the biggest book that I have, and like the most novel-ish book that I have for this round, and that is Tress and the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I don't know how this is a cozy fantasy because Brandon Sanderson writes just fantasy usually, but I have seen this circulating as equivalent to cozy fantasy, so I'm hoping that this hits the mark. Like I said, this is the most novel-ish book that I have on the list, so we're starting off with it to just start it, because otherwise I won't do it. I won't do it, I won't read it. So while I bask in the rays for like a little bit, I will start this. However, I do also want to, build some momentum and some motivation, and to do that, typically you start with the easiest task first. For that reason, I have also brought outside with me Mooncakes, which is a graphic novel. It looks witchy, it looks like it has baked goods, and so what better time coming into a different change of season, coming into the more spooky times, to do a graphic novel about witches who bake. Oh my god, I've just seen, this is fantastic. Please tell me that this Birdman is a regular character in the book. So while the sun is still shining, I'm going to start these 2 books. Just like every other time and weekend and video here at the meekela Reads household, I still have to do things. I still have to do life things. I have washing that needs to be hung out. I have a bird whose cage needs cleaning. I have a bird whose food needs making. So there's many things. But we're just going to try to tackle this with a more of a cozy vibe to it, a cozy feeling, a cozy focus. We're going to take it slow, we're going to drink lots of hot beverages, and it's going to be lovely. So, welcome, enjoy your stay. Let's just pray to the cozy fantasy gods that we actually find a cozy fantasy this time around. We kept the afternoon cozy with beer, and then I had a nap. But it is now officially nighttime, and I have read about 25 pages of Tress in the Emerald Sea. It's about as far as I got before I literally crashed sitting here on this lounge, out cold. From what I understand about this novel, we are following Tress, whose name is actually Glorf, but everyone calls her Tress apparently. She lives on this remote, stranded island that has a duke and a royal family and not many people, and it is surrounded by a sea of spores or pollen of some type, and that stuff is dangerous to humans. Tress is very good friends with a boy named Chris.
I'm so mad. I'm sitting here editing this and I'm like, I know it's Charlie. His name is Charlie, his name is not Chris. I know his name is not Chris. I know in this clip that his name is not Chris, but I keep calling him Chris, his name is Charlie. I'm gonna keep saying Chris, I know it's Charlie.
Who claims to be the groundskeeper's son. However, Tress really knows that he is the Duke's son. We kick off the book with Tress and Chris just hanging out, having a good time, feeling as though they both have strong feelings for each other, but neither of them have said anything. And then the Duke finds out and then ships Chris off to another continent and another country to marry a princess. Long time passes, and he is at this point of where I'm up to, coming back with his new bride. Despite the fact that he previously said that he wouldn't marry someone and that he would come back for Tress because he would be too boring for all of the princesses. Already, once again, I'm loving Brandon Sanderson's writing. We're so compatible. It's a good time. I'm only 25 pages in, so I don't want to make too many claims yet, but I'm enjoying the writing so far. Even though Tress is the classic I'm not like other girls, I do appreciate that she has a cup collection and experiences the world through cups and mugs, because that is also how I experience the world. Through cups and mugs. So that was 25 pages of Tress. I will not be getting back to this tonight. I just don't have the awake brain power today. I did also read half of Mooncakes. I'm exactly halfway through. It's just not hitting the way I wanted it to. Okay, first of all, we love the representation of a hard of hearing main character. Love it. Not to mention also a transgender character as the second lead main character for a book that was released like quite a while ago, but I just don't feel connected. The main characters have this connection and friendship from long time ago. They were friends, one left, one came back, and it's very much being told and not felt or shown. I don't get the depth of their friendship and the depth of their relationship, nor do I get the depth of the characters. They feel quite two-dimensional. Things with the characters keep happening and I just don't care all that much about it, and also things move incredibly quickly and it feels as though there was a book that came before it that explained all of the backstory, and I just haven't read that book, which it is me. It could be likely that that's what's happened and that I just haven't read the first book in the series, but I don't think it is. I think that this is definitely the first one. I don't think that there's more before this. On the other hand, the magic is really cool. I really like the magic, and the little creatures and the grandmothers are really the best characters that exist in the book currently. So coming in at a whopping 145 pages for the afternoon/night, I'm gonna pack it in. I have an alarming amount of editing that I need to pack into tonight. So I'm gonna bid you good night while I go become an editing goblin for the rest of my waking hours. And tomorrow we'll kick back into being cozy. I've gotta have balance. We can't be cozy all the time, unfortunately. And I'm sad about it. Good morning. Really quickly, we finished Mooncakes. I think without fail, my favorite part of graphic novels is always the little additional illustrations and content that you get at the end of the book. Can you see these creatures? I love them so much. So we're done with that for now. In keeping with the cozy theme, I am going out for lunch today with some family members, and I need to finish a crochet project that I started for one of them a while ago so that I can actually give it to her today. So that's going to be the remainder of my day, but it's still cozy, so I'm okay with it. Oh no, I have to crochet for the rest of the day. Woe is me. But when we return, it will be back to the cozy reading, and I'll be reading Tress of the Emerald Sea. I've been actually quite excited to get back to it. It's very fun. It's a very good feeling. I love this feeling. What a good time. Cannot stress enough how much I don't know what I'm doing. We have our star insert. I hope it's the right size. I didn't realize I did put so much effort into the cutting and then just completely forgot about the fact that the sewing is the part that actually matters because that determines the shape of the pillow. I have no formal training in sewing and I have no clue how any of this works. By the looks of this, my insert is going to be far too large. As much as I want this to be cozy and stress-free, this is not cozy and stress-free. This is much stress. We need to find a way to turn this bad boy inside out to make a lovely pillow lining. I also have about 20 minutes before I have to leave the house to go to said lunch, and all I've done is make something that sort of resembles a star. Oh my god. It's not my worst sewing work I've ever done. Definitely not my best. It's sort of still a star. Let's stuff it and see what happens. I finished it. I'm genuinely quite pleased with how it came out. It's so soft. It's together. Success. So this is cozy creation number 1. I do, however, have to be an adult now though, which is highly unfortunate. All I want to do is just make another pillow now. This is the curse of crocheting. Good afternoon. It has been a full probably 2 weeks since I last spoke to you about the cozy books that I'm reading because I haven't been reading the cozy books. It genuinely has just been me and my ADHD paralysis demons for the last probably 2 weeks. I've just been exhausted. I fall into just the social media holes over and over and over again when I get home. And I don't want that to be my normal. I don't want that to be the normal. So today we're going to break that. This afternoon we're going to change my brain. In one afternoon. I've set the mood, I've set the space, I've got a lovely cup of tea, my fairy lights are on, the sunlight is still shining. It is a relaxing, nothing day today, and I've not been so switched off in such a long time. It's been fantastic. So to keep it rolling, to keep the cozy vibes going, we are going to pause on Tress of the Emerald Sea, and we're instead going to read the books that I'm probably the most excited to read in this entire video. We are going to read The Tea Dragon Society. This has been months in the making of me trying to track these books down to actually purchase them and get them here. It has been a ride. I have them, all 3 of them. And so we're just going to start today by reading the first Tea Dragon Society, drinking my cup of tea, and just absorbing the lovely, cozy afternoon that it is. I've not been more excited to read a book in such a long time. I have had these sitting here for quite some time and it's been such a struggle to not just read them because I've been waiting for this moment between you and me. I've been holding out for this moment. So strap in, make a cup of tea, and welcome to the cozy afternoon. they didn't fall, doesn't count. We have hit the unfortunate part of the week that I do in fact have to go to work. So I figured I would start my day right. I have made a coffee and I have the second Tea Dragon Society ready to go before I have to head into work again for the rest of the week. So I'm just gonna take it slow this morning, try to keep this week as cozy as I possibly can. It is 7:30 and I've really just stopped working for the day. So we're employing crisis damage control, where we keep it cozy, but slightly tinged with stress. I have many a thought. Alas, I will not give them all to you now. However, I just, before I forgot, wanted to make some imagery for you of my experience reading Tress of the Emerald Sea. So, Jared and I started watching the new One Piece TV show, which has a bunch of people in it. It's a live action. It's corny and not great, but good in the same way. There's a female captain in that show. I don't remember her name. Avida? She looks like this. And now that is all I can picture Captain Crow looking like from this book. In my brain, they're synonymous now. They're the same person because they have similar personalities and similar traits. So that's just my fun little tidbit for now. But I will bid you adieu and see you on the morrow for when I finish work for the week. we've had an outfit change because it is remarkably hot today. I think it's like 32 degrees, maybe? Let me check. Yeah, it's 32 degrees, which is this for all of the American folk. I've spent the better part of today finishing Tress of the Emerald Sea, and I cannot be happier that that is how I've spent my day today. Tress was fantastic. I have a lot of thoughts. I have them written down. We'll get there at the end. I said to myself I wasn't going to annotate. I was just going to enjoy it, but there were honestly so many quotes and moments that I just couldn't not. I had to. It would have been a crime not to. So I finished Tress. I'm gonna say it, close to a new favorite. I don't know if it's like proper top tier favorite, and I say that only because it took me a lot to get through it. And I think that's me. I keep saying this, and it's like becoming more and more prevalent, but I'm really tired and I'm really busy in just my life in general. So I feel like I don't have the time as much as I want to commit to reading books as much as I want to. But since I dedicated all of today to just reading, and I actually got through quite a good chunk of this book very, very quickly, I'm gonna comfortably say the reason it took me so long to get through this is because of me and being tired and burnt out and busy. As of finishing Tress of the Emerald Sea right now, it is technically my 499th book on Goodreads that I have read. I did have another book planned for this video, but what I am instead going to read now is going to be the third and final Tea Dragon Society book, because I feel like it's fitting that this is the 500th book that I have read on Goodreads. However, because plans don't plan as planned here, I have to make 2 more of my star pillows. So we are once again entering the stressed cozy grind to make and crochet some pillows for the afternoon. And you know what? In light of having just read Tress and still being immersed in this world, I'm gonna watch Treasure Planet while I do it. Did you like Treasure Planet? Do you like Treasure Planet? If you like Treasure Planet, you'll probably like Tress. I am very briefly going to run to the grocery store to grab some food because we have no food in the house. No, I was gonna make banana bread. Ooh, new plan. We're making banana bread and then we're crocheting and reading so that I can eat banana bread and crochet and watch Treasure Planet and then read the final Tea Dragon Society. And then we're gonna come back and talk about all of the books that I've read as a part of this video, because it has been officially 3 weeks since I started filming this video and I genuinely cannot remember where we started. So, are you ready? I'm ready. I feel ready. And in the meantime, I'm going to leave you with some footage that I took of a wedding that I went to yesterday that was just sublime. It was really lovely. It was beautiful, and I got to wear my beautiful fairy princess dress, which I'm just stoked about. So, I'll see you soon, I guess.
On the clearest of nights, when the winds of the Ethereum were calm and peaceful, and then, gathering up their spoils, vanished without a trace.
Once you plant it and you vanish without a trace.
What's the matter? Cat got your... Back off, sir.
Thank you, Delbert. Mrs. Hawkins. My dues.
And what do you think you'd understand? It can break me as long as I know who I am. 'Cause I'm not worth this. Sleeping while I keep on dreaming from me. One moment to be real.
Hi, I was planning on doing everything well before now, but again, plans don't plan as planned here. I now have to go to my sister's birthday and then a hen's party that is overnight and then work drinks tomorrow. I'll catch you up on my thoughts on the Tea Dragon Society when I get back from all of the above, but spoiler alert, it is probably among my new favourite book series that I have ever read. So welcome to the weekend. We're off to a great start. Let's hope that it continues to roll. Great.
Genre and breaks down the conflict. If you ask me, Allie, what's your favorite?
Hello, welcome to the end of the video. I want to alert you all to this mug that I made, but my tea is currently too hot to drink, so he is going to sit right up here. Let's talk about what I read. I initially said that I wasn't going to read the last book, but I spent this morning reading The Cybernetic Tea Shop, so let's start there. This is a cozy fantasy that follows Clara, who is essentially a technician. She's a mechanic for robots. We also have a dual perspective of Sal, who is a robot. Sal owns a tea shop that she runs, and she has been running this tea shop for something like 270 years. She continued it on after her master passed away. Sal is quite attached to the tea shop, and she and Clara essentially just work together in a way to learn to grow together. This story was short. It didn't have a whole lot of room or space to really flesh out the characters, which I kind of wish we had done a bit more, but it is a 110-page book, so I'm taking what I can get. It was cozy. It has themes plot-wise similar and akin to kind of a cross between Before the Coffee Gets Cold and Legends and Lattes, but again without the immense character depth and emotional connection. I didn't quite feel it with this one as much as I had with those two, so that was The Cybernetic Tea Shop. That's the most recent one I finished. Let's flash back to the start of when I started reading during this video. Also, I'm not going to go into so much detail for these because I have an entire wrap-up video coming within the coming weeks. We'll do a quick summary of the rest of the books that I've read. We started with Mooncakes, which is a witchy queer graphic novel. I really loved the representation. I thought it was lovely. I thought it was cute. There was something to be desired of the, again, depth of the characters. It felt a bit 2D, but I do really, really love the gay grandmothers that featured in this. And I just want a graphic novel that features entirely the magical creatures from the forest. Just that. That's all I want. I then read The First Tea Dragon Society by Kay O'Neill, which I'm just going to say it now because it's going to come up, but it is now probably one of my favourite book series of all time. And Kay O'Neill is now officially my favourite author / graphic novelist of all time. Also, they're from New Zealand, which I didn't know. It's amazing. They're basically my neighbour. The tea dragons were adorable. The first book story was so wholesome. I shed a tear. It was fantastic. In the first one, we follow Greta. She's apprenticing to be a blacksmith, and she comes across the tea dragon keepers and learns to take care of the tea dragons along with them. The second one is the Tea Dragon Festival, which is where we step out of the Tea Dragon Society. We step backwards in time a little bit to follow some different characters in a city that all just take care of tea dragons collectively, and it is beautiful. I loved it. We follow a non-binary main character named Rin in this one. And the third one, the Tea Dragon Tapestry, winds the first two all together. We see all of the characters. I cannot rave enough about the art style. I cannot rave enough about the characters. And to round out everything, we read Tress of the Emerald Sea, which is thus far my favourite Brandon Sanderson that I have ever read. I will still classify this as a cozy fantasy. I do just want to leave you with a few quotes from this one as opposed to actually giving you my full summary. Again, we'll get there in one of the coming videos. If you wish to become a storyteller, here is a hint. Sell your labour, but not your mind. Give me 10 hours a day scrubbing your deck and oh, the stories I could imagine. Give me 10 hours adding sums and all you'll have me imagining at the end is a warm bed and a thought-free evening. And I just felt that on a soul-deep level. We also had Tress settled down thinking about people and how the holes in them could be filled by such simple things like time or a few words at the right moment. What other than a person could build you up merely by caring. And finally, I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite ones. They're talking about hugs. Someone gave Tress a hug, and it says, when emotions start leaking, it's best to give the body a good squeeze and force them right on out, like lancing a boil. Because sometimes we just need a hug. So that is all of the books that I read. This was quite a successful cozy fantasy video. I liked almost all of the books that I read. There were none that I disliked. I think that that is a win. I read books that I enjoyed, and that is a win. This weekend didn't really go to plan. When do things ever go to plan here on this channel? Things were hard with family, things were hard just in general. So thank you for sticking around all the way to the end with me if you are still here. I do very much appreciate it. And again, things are late and things are not consistent, and I'm just accepting that that's where I'm at. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're having a fantastic day or night or whatever time it is where you are in the world. And I will see you maybe next week. Goodbye.